guys, my date from last night just looked at my Instagram story, but he didn't text me back.
Arrow to the heart.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Constitutes a death.
I'm sad.
Well, did you have like a really good date?
It was so fun.
Like, what was fun about it?
It's just like really good vibes.
Good chat.
Jokes, great sense of humor. Felt a good connection.
Did you guys have a little peck after? Was it a good kisser?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's great.
Okay.
I was dating in LA, like in the gay scene.
Well, I think it's odd. I don't have too much experience in it because I was in a relationship for like 3 years. So I'm kind of like testing out the waters, I guess you could say.
Okay.
And I feel like the gay scene, like almost in any big city, is almost impossible to date. Like when I lived in New York, it was hard. I think people are more willing to go on dates in New York.
Okay.
Like they'll hang out with you. This was also pre-COVID.
Do you feel like people are not willing to hang out here?
I think they just want to.
Just want to fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
So it's like come in, drop off.
Yeah, I
Keep
feel
moving.
like it's so
Transactional?
sex focused in LA. Like it's very like, especially in West Hollywood. I mean, it's like every dude is a jacked muscle,
Yeah.
hot OnlyFans guy, and it's like very much transactional. And then they ask if you want to shoot content
Really?
with them. Yeah. And
how,
I'm like,
how does one bring that up?
Has that happened?
Is it
they're like, do you want to film together? And I'm
first
like,
or second? Like, is it like initial, or you guys meet each other and then on the second round they're like, that was good. You probably do really well on camera. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think like people just ask up front. They're like, let's shoot something together.
What?
I'm like, yeah, what?
That is crazy.
That's wild.
It's crazy. Like people want to film themselves having sex.
Hmm.
And it's pretty crazy because it's like, I feel like sex is like, should be an intimate thing. I mean, it could be a physical thing as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like when it's so transactional, it just makes you think like, where's the emotional connection?
1,000%. I read something recently that like the act of sex is like the most like vulnerable and like highest exchange of energy you could ever have with a
Yeah.
human being.
That's what it stands for. Sacred Energy Exchange.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I mean, it's an acronym.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Sacred energy exchange.
Yeah.
Is that real? You made that up.
That's pretty good if I did.
Wait, that's
Like, I'm gonna pat myself on the back.
I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, like I didn't see that in my anatomy
Wait,
textbook.
that was so good. Sacred energy
exchange.
Monet
Oh,
exchange.
did you hear that? That's a chef's kiss.
Yeah.
I
That's
really
a-
like that.
That's a drag name.
Okay.
What's your drag name? Welcome to the stage, Sacred Energy Exchange.
Just Danny with his eyelashes.
Giant.
Oh my gosh.
That's beautiful.
But you were saying that you feel like it is a sacred energy exchange, but it's very transactional here.
Yeah, especially with queer men, I think. It's very sex focused. I mean, I feel like men are men at the end of the day, and they just want to get off. And a lot of people just don't have time to like invest in a relationship. And maybe the values of what they're searching for. Also, like, monogamy is not very common, I feel like, in the gay scene. I feel like I know more open couples than
Non-open couples.
yeah, which is interesting.
Do you think that positively affects mental health or negatively affects mental health?
I think if there's a good baseline of communication, then it's really positive. It can be really good to just like kind of get what you want out of life, I guess.
Yeah.
But if your partner is not looking for that and they want a more traditional type of relationship, then no, you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, and it's actually probably the most depleting thing you could probably do to your mental health.
Yeah,
Like
and
ever.
to your partner too.
Yeah.
If they don't want to be monogamous, they shouldn't be with you.
Yeah.
if you do
know.
want to be monogamous.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
something recently that like like whenever police officers get calls to different locations, the scariest calls they'll get are the ones that are domestic violence with like relationships because of the
Wow.
intensity of the emotion and the volatility of the different like partners.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the woman will be holding a knife and she's like, you know, he was sleeping in my bed, and the cops are in a position where it's like they're not going to just kill this lady who just saw her husband cheating of like, you know, 2 decades, but they're like, just put the knife down. Like, you're not going to kill anyone, but like, you know what I mean?
Mm.
It's like she's like a normal person, but it inspires this like an animalistic protective mechanism where your life is like on the line. You know?
You become so connected with another person
Yeah.
that it kind of feels like you're protecting yourself in a
Yeah.
way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it really inspires like I think the deepest emotions and most intense emotions are like relationships and like your partner, you know? Yeah, it's fascinating. How do you feel like you've been able to navigate that, like being single now after 3 years? Like, do you feel like you're standoffish towards that sort of culture, or a little trepidatious, or is it something that you're inviting?
Oh my God. I feel like it's really overwhelming, to be
Yeah.
honest. I think like a culture where it's purely based off of sex is like, it's so performative to me. And I'm like, I am more of a very like loving exchange of energy, like we said. And like, I don't think like, I don't know, like, sure, Grindr's fine, whatever. But like, if you're really just like looking to fuck, like, I don't know. I just can't really wrap my head around that. I have to know somebody and have some type of connection with them first. Like people just walk into people's houses and they're just like ass up, ready to, you know,
That's
receive.
a crazy concept.
It's
if you think about
so
it. It's crazy that there's
wild.
a social app that you could get on and have this exchange.
Have you heard about Sniffies?
No, what is that?
Sniffies is an app where people like your whole punanji is on display.
What's
like
a
you
punanji?
basically you scroll through penises and buttholes to find the one that you want, pretty much.
So it's basically
And
just
it's their direct location too.
Oh wow.
What?
You can scroll on the map and just find the dick that you want.
That's crazy.
I've never done it, but I know some people who do, and it's great for them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine.
That's
we
crazy.
could, I mean, and then it's like you have all this like selectability, like you can like literally like filter out whatever you want. You know what I mean? So like
That's crazy.
it's so odd.
It's like, it's not prostitution because you're not paying for it. It's not
Right.
illegal, but it's like crazy.
Customizing what you want to have sex with, basically, based on your.
I don't know
area
if
and
that's good or
location.
bad.
I don't think it's good. I think like it's kind of a weird thing to evolve into. you know?
Yeah, I think it's
We've
a slippery
lost the
slope.
plot. We've
Yeah.
lost human connection.
Yeah, but if the whole idea is just sex only, it's like shopping at a store.
Exactly.
So, but I think that those types of people see it just as a physical act, obviously, not just like an emotional act. It's literally physical. I mean, they're literally looking at their physical parts.
Yeah.
Sniffies.
Sniffies
I wonder why they
sponsor
call
us.
it that, like because of poppers or something, or what?
Why? Probably because of drugs.
Yeah.
Because it's also very common in the gay community to have like chemsex, which is
What is chemsex?
chemsex is having sex on drugs, basically. So it
Like
could be-
chemical sex?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's with meth.
What? Chemsex?
Chemsex is when you have sex on meth. Yeah,
Wow.
You're fucking with me.
I swear to God. I actually swear to God.
How
And
do
then
you find that community?
Thank you, Patrick. And people
Patrick behind the camera.
nodding his head.
What?
He's like, I've done that before.
Yeah.
Find me on
He's like,
Sniffies.
I fucked around on Sniffies with some chemsex.
They'll message you party with a capital T, and that means like you do Tina, which is meth.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
You're giving us all the code language.
I
Yeah.
know, it's so fun. And then imagine imagine like not knowing what any of that means.
Yeah.
And being like 18 and
I
like
wanna go to
getting
a party.
Oh, so fun. Where?
Yeah. Tina? I
You walk
haven't met
into
Tina yet.
a giant orgy and people are smoking meth in the corner, sniffing meth.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
yeah.
Have you been to a Tina party?
Hell fucking no.
I thought you were gonna say
Hell fucking yeah.
Me and Tina. I just saw her in the bathroom.
We go way back.
Tina Turner.
I will never forget my my first like Pride in New York. We were walking around Greenwich Village, and this guy was just walking around out in the open, going Coke, Tina, Coke, Tina, just selling it on the street.
Ice cold Gatorade.
Literally, he was giving that. So funny. I love saying that. It's so funny to me.
Oh my god.
Coke, Tina. And why do you feel like the gay community is so entrenched in like
Sex and drugs?
Escapism.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And do you think that what are they escaping?
I'm sure that they have hella trauma from just being gay, and growing up in a society that is made to against them basically and not accept them. And I feel like a lot of these people have trauma with their parents, just not.
Yeah. Parents accepting, parents not accepting. I guess we don't know if like your child comes out. It's like there's no rule book for like parenting. Nonetheless, like if you're a heterosexual couple and then someone's like homo, it's like, how do I show up? How do I parent? Like, I'm sure there's a whole nother layer to that as well.
Yeah. I feel really lucky that my parents were super supportive.
Yeah.
But I think everybody goes through their own trauma, you know, like I grew up as kind of like an only child. I have an older sister. She's a half sister. She's my half sister, but she grew up in Poland. So like I had a sister sometimes and sometimes I didn't, basically. Yeah. So I feel like as a queer child who felt like an only child, you really have to like develop your own sense of self and I don't know, like you don't have a community with you basically protecting you,
right?
And yeah, it's hard, and some people, like luckily I went to a school where people were pretty accepting of being gay. I did get like bullied kind of, but that was like before I came out. And then I think you just feel so othered as a queer child. Like everyone else around you is like, ooh, like I'm gonna hook up with this one girl or like hang out with this guy or whatever, blah blah blah, and like you're just thinking like how am I supposed to experiment or try anything or like date somebody or figure this out, you know, as a young queer person. I feel like nowadays it's a lot different. Like people are more open,
for sure.
Gen Alpha is like, I was teaching a kids camp and everyone was like, I'm non-binary. My pronouns are they, them, she, he, her. And I was like, that's a lot of pronouns.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy for such a young age.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's affecting how kids are raised now? Like, do you think that there's overall net positive, or do you think that there's more net negative? As in, like,
is there like an overcorrection almost?
Yeah, like if you're coming up and being like someone that's young and just like, I feel like growing up being able to be like, am I more feminine? Am I more masculine? Versus like putting labels on it. Like I'm non-binary, I'm they, them, I'm this, I'm that.
Right.
Like they almost have more labels to put on themselves. So they kind of put these labels on versus like, no, like if you want to fucking dress up in girls' clothes, maybe you just want to dress up in girls' clothes and wear a wig, you know, like do it. But you don't need to be like they, them, non-binary. Like maybe you like drag, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the label of non-binary is really effective with people who are very aware of their gender and their, you know, how they, oh my God, I feel like I keep thinking about this interview of Rihanna where she's like, of all gender appropriations and sexualities and orientations, the theys, the he's, the this, she's, we'll clip that later. But yeah, so basically I think that the label of non-binary is really helpful for people who feel that they exist on the spectrum of gender, that's not male or female. But for kids, I think a kid can absolutely know that they are different and that they're trans or that they're not the gender that they were assigned to. I think absolutely. But I do feel like a lot of kids just don't know what they want in life, you know, or how they want to perceive themselves to the world or how the world to perceive them. So it's great that they're able to explore.
They have awareness.
And have an awareness to it. But I also think that being gay and non-binary and trans has become so trendy for a younger generation. And maybe that's like a hot take.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of us like know and then kind of develop and grow into ourselves. Whereas now it's like, oh, like I saw this online, that's what I am. And it's like, maybe you're not. Maybe you just...
You have to let it breathe, you know?
Yeah.
And like
figure
yourself out.
Mature.
Yourself out. Yeah.
Yeah. Without making like a really immediate decisions, I guess. Like, what are your thoughts on like surgical interventions, you know, for children? Because obviously that's a trend too, you know?
Oh my God. I don't know. I feel like I'm not the one to speak on everything, but I think that, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, just let it breathe. Like, I guess.
Figure yourself out.
Yeah.
I saw on TikTok a few times like a detransition, almost like they transition and then they like, I don't know if this is 100% what and who I am.
Yeah. I think that a lot of that comes from like just the stigma of being trans, and like a lot of people who detransition actually were just like trying to make it work so hard, and it was just like too difficult. And
I think that could even be like with non-binary or like you're almost exploring, right? And it's like you kind of need to let it breathe, take a second, figure out who you are. Maybe don't make any really long lasting decisions unless you really feel like that. But like
there's this concept of like the two-way door. Like you make decisions that you can like retroactively like come back through the door, you know? But if it's a one-way door, then it's like really sit on those decisions and like take 6, 12, 2 years, you know,
which is why I think just like all adults who do it love, like, of course, but for kids, you just don't.
Still developing brain.
Still developing. And just, you know, figuring it out.
Yeah, I'm curious. You had mentioned like throughout your upbringing that like you were kind of like a queer child, if you will. How do you make that distinction between like being gay and queer, right? Because they're both different letters, if you will, on the LGBTQ. You know what I mean? Spectrum. So like, how does that distinction, like, have you been both? Can you be both?
Definitely. I think queer is an umbrella term. So it basically...
All of them,
all encompassing. So all
Queen
the L,
energy.
so the G's, the B's, the T's. It's all under the queers.
Sense.
So I like to refer to myself as queer because I think that sexuality, gender, all of these things are super fluid. I think everyone is fluid in their gender expression, their gender identity,
right?
The way that they are attracted to people. Like sometimes I'll like. It's funny. I saw a tweet the other day about how gay men are like so obsessed with like female celebrities, like Anne Hathaway. Like she's stunning. She's so gorgeous. And it's like, but we are so like tied to the gay. Like we're gay. I am gay. I'm gay. I'm gonna be gay for the rest of my life. It's like, well, actually, like maybe you might be attracted to her.
Yeah,
but you're not letting that like thought come into your brain. But everyone is fluid. Like maybe you lean way more gay. Like I don't think I could ever have a relationship with a woman. But I can still find women attractive. Like beautiful, for sure.
And maybe there is a universe where like the one iteration of like one woman. You know what
exactly.
I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Like everything is so fluid. And yeah, being queer, you just you tying it back to what you asked about being like a queer child and how do you know? You just feel so different. You're existing in a different plane than everybody else around you. And then you know when somebody else is. It's like kind of like an energetic thing. You just like can tell. It's like, you know how people have like gay face? It's kind of like that.
Do you think
but it's like gay
face?
Energy.
Do you have gay face?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Do I have gay hands?
You have gay nails. I don't think you have gay hands.
I think there's like a direct parallel too between like mental health and like mental health diagnoses, where like people will kind of like get a diagnosis from a provider and they'll almost maintain it as part of their identity. You know what I mean? Instead of, you know, saying I feel depressed, I am depressed. And that's like a justification for like any ailments.
I feel gay, I am gay.
Right.
Well, yeah, it's fluid, right? So like maybe you feel straight in a moment and maybe you're like, wow, that man's really attractive, right? And it's like, you know what I mean? It oscillates and, you know, change is the only constant. But if you see the construct as like cemented in and it never changes, then I feel like that's where the rigidity almost like ends up screwing you because you don't give your ability to like transmute through things and flow, you know,
we go
life.
Backwards a bit.
Yeah.
Especially in terms of a society, when you're over labeling everything, it's kind of like, oh, but the point of all of this is to kind of exist free of labels, right? And I think I love what you said about mental health, because we were just listening to a provider talk about how some teenagers get diagnosed as bipolar. And it's like, I just had a manic episode. Like, I'm not actually bipolar. I just like did something crazy.
Yeah, I just stayed up for 2 days straight and then, you know, broke the window.
Yeah.
No, I'm not like gonna just slap this label on my back for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. And then of course, like with some of the treatments that we market, like if you are bipolar or if you are X, Y, and Z, you can't receive a treatment that might change your life or might actually help the issue that you've been dealing with for years and years and years, only because you've thought you're part of your identity is this one label of mental illness. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I think those are also a spectrum. Like, everyone's brain works differently.
Yeah. No, it's fascinating. Yeah. And it's unfortunate because in order for you to get approved for these treatments, you need to have that diagnosis, you know? And it's interesting because like with the parallel with sexuality, it's like in order for you to be part of that community, you almost have to identify with the community in some capacity. But also, like, even through my upbringing, like my older brother is gay, my best friend's gay, my cousin's gay, like you're gay, right? Like,
who said I was gay?
Stop labeling, dude.
A lot
it's
of
2025.
A lot of the people that I spend time with are gay, and I feel like I've been able to like establish a really good support system through that. But also, it's like trying to like transmute my own identity through that, you know. It's like if I have gay friends, that doesn't make me gay, but I just enjoy like spending time with people I enjoy spending time with, you know.
1000%.
So,
and I think like the beautiful thing about the queer community is that like we do have, you know, one of the A's stands for ally, you know, so we want to be all encompassing and accepting of those who actually like stand by us and see us as real people and not just a monster.
Yeah.
You know, or as the other. Like, we want to accept you as much as you accept us.
Yeah, 100%. I'm curious, Elijah, like, obviously, I feel like Gab he lives in WeHo. He's more entrenched in that community. But living in Los Angeles over the past half decade to decade, however long it's been, like, how has your experience been navigating that scene and your own identity through the dating culture, if you will?
Yeah, I feel like that's a loaded question. I think coming into Los Angeles, I was at school and I was really looking to be accepted. So I was like very, very homo, like very gay. I almost like saw it part in you when you were at the first like doctor's interaction. Yeah. And I used to do that because I wanted to be accepted so bad. So I like really doubled down on the homosexuality because everyone would feel wicked comfortable. So I'd be like, oh my God, hey. And people would eat it up, and I was like, this mask is working, like let's really double down on it. And I feel like I doubled down on it throughout college. And then after like I kind of reached a pinnacle, hit a certain level, I was like, okay, this is not necessarily who I am. And as I like kind of transcended from school, I was like, okay, this is who I quote unquote was in this type of environment. Now that I'm no longer in that environment, like it forced me to like kind of look in the mirror and be like, who are you and how do you necessarily identify? And I think it was a lot of questioning. I still think that there's questioning too, because I think for a while I was like, I almost like had some type of resentment for myself that I was so like a token in a sense, you know. But then it
you're
also
a
like
GBF, somebody's gay best friend, right? And
it was like nice because at least I was someone's best friend, but like it wasn't nice because it was like
cry.
You know what I mean? So like that, like you feel seen, but then it's like, okay, how authentic is that? And are you just being seen because
you're putting on the mask?
You're putting on the mask.
Yeah.
So then I was like, okay, now I take the mask off and I'm like, okay, how much of that mask was like genuine? Because I feel like whenever you're personifying your personality, parts of it is true, 100%. But then there's like, how much percent is it above the surface, or is it kind of like fake, and is it like 20%, 10%? 45%, like who is my most authentic self?
Yeah.
So I think that, it's been over the past few years post that, what does that necessarily look like, you know? So navigating now, I think that it's been more interesting because I think that I found my flow of like masculinity versus femininity inside of myself. And then as far as dating goes, I think that I was really comfortable with dating guys, and now I'm like actively dating girls. And it's really interesting to like grow into a different version. So when you mentioned a two-way door, I felt like I walked through that door and then I kind of like walked back out. And not that it's not my door, because it could still very much be my door. But it just allowed me to kind of like go through certain phases of my life, my sexuality. And I think that sexuality is 100% on a spectrum. I think as I like worked through some like deep trauma just from my childhood, the more that I saw myself like release some more of these like homosexual tendencies, because I think that I had like a really deep like lock with my father, and working through that also like opened me up to work through certain pieces of my sexuality. So I think I'm still on that journey.
Yeah. I wonder how many people can relate to that, because I think that there's a deprivation of male affection oftentimes, I would imagine. So I'd say that that's probably a trend in a lot of like gay individuals. I don't know if you see that, where maybe whether it's a father or maybe like the older brothers are just like really fucked up, you know what I mean? And there's kind of either like an infliction of like damage or like, you know, negativity, or a lack of affection, you know, and then there's like this vacuum of like male intimacy, and they're like trying to fill this like you know what I mean, sense of like affection.
And I think it goes hand in hand with them like kind of covering up a really big part of them for so long, and then finally getting out from under their parents' thumb or whatever, and like feeling free, and and they're like, oh my god, I can actually express this and like live it up to my fullest, and then you know they just kind of like get caught up in it.
Because that's what I felt like. I literally like once I came out to my mom, it was a really bad experience, and she just like didn't accept me whatsoever. She's like, get the fuck out. And I was like, well, I'll fucking show you. Like now I'm gonna shit fucking rainbows, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I'm gonna double down. Yeah. I'm like Lady Gaga. And I think it was almost like a sense of rebellion, which is funny. And like me coming out to LA and being like, I'm out in LA, I could be whoever I want to be. Like this is what, and this is who I am, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm just trying to figure it the fuck out.
That was me in college. Like I had like queer-ish friends in high school, but you know, it was mostly like, I had queer friends in high school, but in college, like it was like queerness was our like thing. It was just like we wrote plays about it, we were doing drag, we were just exploring with gender, painting each other's faces. Like I went to theater school, so it was just like a fucking explosion of queerness, and it literally became my whole personality. And I feel like not until I realized, and honestly I think that psychedelics helped me
for sure
realize that the world isn't just like black and white and all these different labels, which I know like our first week working together we talked about that.
Because we saw some things that I saw in myself, and I was like, dude, like I think I saw myself a lot in the way that you're like almost have to put on the mask to make people feel comfortable. And it was almost like me talking to myself, but then also obviously talking to you and being like, dude, you totally do not have to do that. Like, and just affirming that you are all of these things, and you have to be gay, which is fucking great and so cool and amazing. But like, you are so many other things outside of being gay, but like everyone just sees you as this gay person. It's like, no, Gab is so much more than that, or any of these people are so much more than that. Like, you don't just see the base level that someone kind of wants to play up.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like the community factor that you mentioned too is such a big pull, because I just feel like, you know, a lot of like everyone needs to find their community, whether it's like a sports team or whether it's like, you know, being a raver or whatever it is. And the LGBT community is so supportive and it's so interconnected that I feel like it's so alluring too, to just be like, okay, I can kind of cash this ticket and I just automatically have this universal family, you know? And I think that it provides that, which is great. But I also think that like this is a phenomenon, if you will, that's been like lasting for millennia. Like if you think about the most idealistic epitome of what the masculine is, right? You look at like Spartans, okay, from 300, the movie 300, right? Leonidas,
sexy fantasy.
Those were like arguably some of the most gay men in the entire universe. I don't know if you knew this.
Greek men were fucking each other.
Like the Spartans, the epitome of masculinity, like would literally engage in like they would just be fucking each other the whole time.
Yeah.
And then go and fight. And they said that if anything, it like made them feel like more interconnected as a unit to go and fight other people. And it's so fascinating because it's like they are like the epitome of that's like the modern day like NFL superstars, right? All just like fucking each other so that they
and then going to the Super Bowl and winning the game.
Yeah,
like my fantasy.
So it's
yeah, because like, I gotta go to the bathroom really
I'll be right back.
I mentioned that because like, you know, we've discussed that like obviously there's a kind of a threshold in which like it becomes performative and it like consumes someone's identity. But I think that there are like, biological trends that have kind of stood the test of time, that like this is not something that's like explicitly that, right? There's like there's validity to like the biology and like the attraction, same-sex attraction, but then there's also, you know, this threshold where it's like, okay, this is like you're putting on a show, you know?
I think like one of the most beautiful things about our history as a queer community is how trans and non-binary people have always existed, and in ancient civilizations they were actually like seen as closer to God or the deities because they were able to access these multiple parts of them, where, you know, you're not just a man or you're not just a woman. You're able to have all the energies come through you. And they were seen as gods, like, or preachers, or, you know, like prophets, which I think is so cool. And it's such a big part of trans history that's erased.
I wonder what part, like at what time in history were they like, that's a beautiful blend of, you know, masculine and feminine, to being like, fucking lock them up.
Colonialism.
Really?
It's literally like European colonialism is why.
Yeah, I think it's like a puritanical sort of like shame, guilt, Christian.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so fascinating.
Yeah, because if someone had like was mixing with a bit of both genitalia, imagine cavemen must have been like, what the fuck is that?
Well, also like we don't even talk about intersex people.
Yeah,
like, intersex people exist. Like this,
hermaphrodites.
Right. Yeah.
Is it the same?
I would say like the more like I don't know, like I don't know how to say it, like the term that we would use. It would be intersex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But hermaphrodite, yeah, I mean that's how the Greeks said it.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So like
hermaphrodite.
Aphrodite lady. Yeah. So people who are intersex, it doesn't mean that you always have both parts.
Yeah.
It could mean you have multiple sets of chromosomes of an X or a Y.
Yeah.
Some people who are intersex look like everybody else, you know.
Yeah.
You would never, have no physical differences.
You'll never know.
But there are some like internal things that are going on, or even hormonal things that are going on.
Sure.
So it's just really fascinating that there's this entire community of beautiful people. Like we've learned that sex is also not just one thing or the other. Biological sex, because of the fact that intersex people exist. Like if you were to say that it's just one or the other, like you would erase an entire population of people on the planet.
Like Thanos
snap. Which we don't want to do. So
no. Don't let him snap. We need to intersect.
Yeah.
It's so it's pretty crazy that that's like physically happens. Like you can't deny it because that literally.
Yeah, and a lot of doctors, because of, you know, lack of research or whatever, they decide what this child is going to be, and they end up performing surgery.
We read about that in one of our classes.
This or that. And they end up maturing into the opposite of what the doctor decided. You know what I mean? And these people go through so much, and I'm sure it's traumatic.
Isn't that crazy? You imagine like baby born, it's like you have to go left or you have to go right.
It's like a flip of a coin.
Yeah. And then you go right and it's actually left,
like,
and you literally are dressing them in fucking blue, and they literally are just getting fucked up in the head.
And that's why sex is not a binary. You know? That person should be able to live whatever.
There's so much fluidity. There's so much movement. I feel like now in 2025, it feels like in Trump's America, we like extended one way in throughout COVID-ish, and now it seems like we're kind of coming back to like more of a middle-ish ground, and it's more like open. Like I feel like pronouns were everywhere for like a year. You know, like everyone would be signing off, and then
my mother, who is a professor, had to sign her emails with her pronouns.
Yeah,
I was like, that is so nice, but you don't need to be doing all that.
Yeah, like it's. I don't think anyone's gonna make.
I'm inclusive. I'm like, it's okay. Like,
yeah,
but it was the university that made her do it.
100%. It was like Black Lives Matter, and then it was like LGBT representation, and then it was like almost all of these groups. Me Too was in there, which is like it's all in the core good
Super
because like
important,
becoming more open.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of like, dude, you're more than just like we don't need to be doing she he and all that.
And I think it's well intended too, but like even like the nuance in terms of the vernacular that's used, you know, like I had never heard the term intersex, but I had heard the term hermaphrodite, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it's a derogatory term.
Yeah.
Right? And if I had said that like around
and
the
they
wrong
could be like,
person,
you fucking bigot, and you're like, I don't even know.
Because people are so quick to judge. Like they just want to fight.
Yeah.
They just want to fight, and they're not.
Yeah.
They're not gonna see you as like, I'm just willing to learn. Like I'm just.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like neutral. I think that it's like triggering because it's like they, you know, have been ostracized for so long that even if someone who's unaware presents in like a curious fashion is maybe kind of stumbling through the vernacular, there's kind of this like attacking, like this immediate attack, opposed to like, I just want to be informed.
Yeah, you just don't know. I remember saying something, and I don't even know if it's bad, but it was like mulatto for like, and literally like it's like a mixed black and white, and that's just like the word that I knew because I was like, that's what I was heard when I was growing up, you know. And then when my black friends in college was like, can't say that, and I'm like, I am so sorry. Like I literally had no idea. Like I had no idea there was negative connotation here. Yeah. And until like, you know, there's different representations within the group being like, hey, yeah, like that's not really cool. I can't really say that. You're like, okay. Yeah. And doing it in a way that's understanding because sometimes people literally just don't know.
Yeah. And I think that people who are so extreme to one side end up alienating the people that want 100% to learn and be better.
Yeah. They're like confirmation bias versus let's open up the space.
And I totally I was one of those people for, I feel like, a lot of my college years and after, because you're just surrounded by the same age basically, like Correct, all the time. People who are very like-minded and like it just seems like, oh, you should already know this information. So like if my parents were to like say the wrong thing, or if somebody that I met were to say the wrong thing, I would get like so defensive and just like go in on them. And now I'm trying to just like go in from a place of, you know, like not as extreme and just like very educational. Like I would love to just sit down and have a podcast with them and talk to them about all these topics.
Well, here we are.
Wow. Okay, so that is like our first little intro to LGBT. I want to like make it a little like
intro
sub-series as in like I think that I feel like one of the things that you wanted to bring in more as a content manager was like LGBT voices.
Totally.
And I think it would be cool to start to like speak with like different identities of different groups and people and like genuinely just ask, like, it'd be sick to interview an intersex person, you know? And I'm like, how is that experience? Yeah. Like I literally have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm sure that there's so many people that we can get on the pod, like influencers who speak about their experiences, drag queens who are super pro mental health, like vocal about mental health. I'm anti-mental health.
That even like people on the like mental health spectrum, like I think that we have all very different experiences, but pretty similar experiences.
Yeah.
And being able to get different voices out there that can just speak on these things, so you could actually realize that, like, you know, hermaphrodite or mulatto maybe isn't the best, and there are other ways and other things to say to not alienate people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This is such a great episode. Thanks for hanging with us.
Guess what, guys?
Yeah, thanks, Gab.
He texted me.
No way.
What a great
Did
way
he really?
to end the podcast.
Fuck yeah, what'd he say?
You are the worst person I've ever met in my... No, I'm just kidding.
I'll see you on Sniffer tonight.
Hey, fatty.
Hey, fat. He said he had fun too.
Got text. All right. Well, just sometimes wait it out. The morning for some people is relative.